Hi, I'm Hélène. Welcome. Today we're working with a shape called Hanumanasana, or the shape of Hanuman, the split or the flying monkey. And we are exploring whether expansion is only outward expansion or whether it also includes this idea of upward lift and upward expansion. Hanuman, the great monkey hero of the Ramayana, is known for making the giant leap from the shore of India to the shore of Lanka. But what we often forget about in the story is that before actually taking the leap, Hanuman became as big as a mountain and gathered all his energy, his prana, to not only step forwards but also lift up and forward. So this is what we are doing today. We need 3 blocks. 2 is good, 3 would be great if you have them today. And let's grab one of those blocks. Bring the block between your heels and come to sit on the block. You can even stack 2 blocks if you need for your knees. And we are in Virasana, hero pose. Bring your hands to your knees. Let's close the eyes for a second. Bring your awareness to your breath. Let's inhale together. And exhale. And let's bring your awareness to your sitting bone and notice where your sit bone connects to the block. And we're going to make sure we're fully grounded here by grounding the pubic bone, so the front of the sit bone into the block. Nice. And bringing your awareness a little higher up, bringing your navel to the spine. So if you had to do that little forward tilt, stay there, stay grounded, lift up your pelvic floor. Mula Bandha, we call this in yoga, that pelvic floor lift, pelvic floor lock. And we're going to thread the ribs in, spread the collarbones, drop the shoulders, and stack the crown of the head onto the pelvic bone. So we're finding already that upward lift from the pelvic floor engagement all the way to the crown of the head. We take 3 breaths here. Slow inhale. Slow exhale. Feel the energy rising on the inhale. And expand out on the exhale. And one more. Inhale. Exhale, expand. Nice. Let's come forward onto your hands and knees. Keep the blocks close to the mat for now. Let's press the fingers. The hands are shoulders distance apart, and we want to make sure that the shoulders are aligned with the wrist and the knees are hip distance apart. I like to ground the shades here by pointing the toes and spreading the toes onto the mat and trying to ground the side, the pinky side of the feet onto the mat, maybe even the ankles. We do a few cat-cows to warm up the spine. Inhale, roll, look up. Exhale, round and look at your leg. 3 more like this. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Articulating the spine. Exhale. Inhale, one last one. And exhale. Coming back to neutral spine, we're going to walk the right foot in between the hands. We may need to make some adjustments here, lifting the back knee and then dropping the back knee again. So you have a nice spread between that left knee and that right foot. Okay, a little bit of alignment first and form. Right knee into the right armpit, right hand outside of the right foot. And we press the top of the back foot onto the mat. Nice. And here today, we're going to try to find an expansion in every single pose we're doing. So grounding the pinky side of that left foot, I expand through that left hip all the way to the crown of the head. On the right side, that right hip moving back, spreading the collarbone. Nice. Once I'm here, I'm nicely grounded. I'm nice form. I'm going to rise. Bring the arms up, grabbing opposite elbows. If you're digging down a little bit, you feel your energy falling down, and maybe you're super flexible and you used to be close to the ground. Lift yourself up a little bit. Bring your right femur into the hip socket and zip it up. I like to visualize the zip for my winter coat going from the pubic bone all the way to the crowns of the head. So grab opposite elbows, find your shape here, right? Femur into the hip socket, navel to the spine. We do 3 breaths. Dropping the shoulders. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Release the hands. Reframe your front foot on your right knee right into your right armpit. Here we can keep the hands flat on the floor, maybe come onto the fingertip here to find more spread into the shoulders. We're going to extend that front leg into Hanumanasana, the half variation. So I push with my right heel and send my hips back. When I'm back here, try to keep your hands forward for now. Spread your collarbone, send that right hip back, flex your front foot. A nice stretch in the back of the leg here. Those hamstrings are really feeling it. Inhale, move forward, open the whole space. Exhale, move back. And we're walking from the hinge of the right hip. So we'll do this a few times, 3, maybe 5 times. Moving back. And see, can you keep your hips level here? Can you keep your heart space open? One more round. Nice. When you come to the front, release the shape. The right knee back and left foot forward. Same thing on the other side. So same adjustment if you need. Lengthen the back leg, drop the back knee again. So you have nice spread and you steady. Point the right toes. Left knee into the left armpit. Left hand right outside of the left foot. Right hand to the mat, maybe the fingertips. And I'm pressing the pinky toe side of my right foot. Extending all the way to my knee, to my right hip, spreading the collarbone. Nice. And once I'm grounded here, lift it back slightly, looking to rise. Grabbing opposite of the opposite, so just switch side. Same walk here. We avoid to collapse down. We send the energy up from the pinky toe side of my right foot all the way to the pelvic floor. Zip it up, navel to the spine, ribs in. Nice. Shoulder down, crown of the head towards the sky. 3 breaths. 1. 2. And 3. Release the hands to the mat. Reframe. Knee into the armpit. Maybe a little higher this time on your fingertip. Find the extension back to front. And moving from the hinge of the left hip. I'm pushing that hip back by flexing the left foot, lengthening the leg. And we go a few times. Trying to keep your hips level. Maybe your long ribs connected to your left thigh. Spreading the collarbones. Sending the energy back and forth at the same time. So you expand outward. Nice. Come forward. This time, touch your back toes. Lift your back knee. Ground your hand. We're stepping back in downward facing dog. Sometimes I like to first find my plank. So I'm sure I am measuring. And then push the hips back. Downward facing. Let's take a moment here. Let's walk the dog. Bending one leg fully and the other. Sending the heel one after the other to the mat. Then bend both knees. Be on the ball of your feet. Lengthen the tailbone back. Squeeze your navel in, lift that pelvic floor, even here in that downward dog. Find that lift, that length through the pelvic floor. Nice. 3 breaths here. You can lengthen your legs a little bit if you wish. Maybe some of you have your heels down. Be comfortable here. Don't compromise the hinge into your hips. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Come high onto your tippy toes. Look forward. Let's walk to the front of the mat. Feet hip distance apart. You can measure 2 fists like this together in between the arch of the feet. And fold down your knees. As you fold, I need to squeeze the inner thigh. When I squeeze my inner thigh, I feel my pelvis is tilted a little bit. I find more hinge into my hips. And it allows me to free my shoulder, free my upper arms. Maybe I can grab opposite elbows here. And once I'm hinging fully, maybe my knees come and connecting to my armpits. It requires a lot of strength in the legs and a nice deep fold into the hips to release the upper thigh and find expansion here, even if we are looking down. Nice, release the elbows, grounding from your feet. We rise all the way up. Inhale, rise. All the way, all the way, all the way. Gaze up and thumbs. Maybe hook your thumb if you wish. Find yourself a nice stretch. Stretching one side, stretching the other. Like Hanuman getting big on the shore of India, ready to leap to Lanka, and bring your hands to the side. Nice. Let's come to the front of the mat. Soften the knees, standing tall and straight. Tadasana, like a mountain. Tall like a mountain. Inhale, rise, gaze up, gaze at the thumbs. If you want to hook your thumbs and lengthen, stretch a bit more, tiny into background. Exhale, we fold completely. Inhale, we send the right foot back, all the way back. Right knee down. Before we rise, find your form. Ground your right knee. Point your right toes. Ground the ankle, the pinky side of the right foot. Bring your left knee into the upper arm. Lengthen. Find your extension here in that lower variation. And then inhale, right, arms up. This time, let's keep the arms parallel. Same thing, if you're sinking here, lift yourself up. Find the lift in the pelvic floor, in Mula Bandha. Push that left hip back. Nice. Now let's get the right hand to the mat, right fingertip, and we'll add a little twist here. Be mindful not to collapse into that right shoulder. Open, spacious. We can stay here, option to walk the left foot a little bit to the left. And then you send the left arm back. Think about expressing that openness, big monkey form. And then funky monkey, we call this shape. We grab the back foot, totally optional here. 3 breaths, wherever you are. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, release. Let's come back to the front. Reframe the front foot. Maybe walk your foot back to the which was. Left into the left armpit. High in your fingertips. Second round. Inhale, we move and push the hips back. And exhale, we come forward. And we go a few times around. 1 breath, 1 movement. Keeping our hips level. And keeping that extension. So even when I send my hips back, I'm looking slightly forward and sending my collarbone, my heart space forward. This is where we want the energy to go. Nice. Next time you bend the front knee, bring your hands in. Walk your hands to the right side. And come onto your feet here. The feet are parallel. We have that wide V. Grounding the big toe, rounding the heels. Soften the knees here a little bit. Hands to the mat or your fingertips. Imagine you're squeezing a huge block between your legs. And then to lift up Mula Bandha again and find a hinge to fall into the hips. If your hands come to the mat, you can walk them back. Ground the palm of the hands, feet and toes in the same direction. Squeezing the elbows. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Relax the neck. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Looking up, lifting halfway, walking the hands back to the left, grounding the hands, stepping back, downward facing. And we'll do the other side from here. So right foot in between the head, left knee down. We adjust again, we find the form right into the right armpit. We frame that foot nicely. We ground the left foot, the pinky side of the left foot. We find that extension. And you rise, arms parallel, dropping the shoulders, lifting up, zipping your coat, right femur into the hip socket, navel up. Nice. One breath. Inhale, exhale, left hand to the mat, right arm towards the ceiling. Same option as the other side here. Stay soft on your left shoulder. We can stay here, we can walk the right foot a little bit to the right. Expand your monkey chest, open your heart space, and maybe grab your back foot, your funky monkey variation. 3 breaths. For 1. And 3. Nice. Release the back foot. If you walked your foot to the side, bring it back to where it was. Right knee to the right armpit. And second round here. We move from the hips. We keep that extension from the back toes all the way to the heart space, the crown of the head. And a few rounds, we go back and we go forward. 1 breath, 1 movement. If the inhale is going back, then make sure you exhale fully as you go forward and vice versa. Find a pattern that works for you here. Nice. Nice. Okay, next time you come forward, this time tuck your toes, lift your knee, and we're going to walk the hands to the inside of the right foot and walk the hands towards the left. Okay, we can do the same variation of that wide V, that wide straddle, or we can do another one. I'm grabbing the big toe with my first 2 fingers. I'm going to flip around so you can see me here. Grabbing the big toe with the first 2 fingers. Nice. Squeezing your gigantic block between your legs. Soften your knees. We find a hinge into the hips. Lifting the pelvic floor. So even if we're upside down here, we still have that upward motion. The energy is rising through the legs, the tailbone, all the way towards the ceiling, relaxing the upper body. 1 more breath. Inhale it, and you're going to walk your hands to the right and step to the front of the mat, folding fully into here. The feet are hips distance apart. And inhale, we rise all the way up. Hands to the side. Nice. Building on, inhale, rise, gaze at the dance. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, right foot back, all the way back. This time we're going to keep that knee lifted. So I'm higher on my lunge here, moving from low lunge, Anjaneyasana, to the higher variation. So pushing the right heel towards the back, so I don't collapse into my right hip. The left knee can come to the left armpit. I can ground my hands, but still spread my collarbone and send the energy forward through my crown of the head. Nice. Let's keep your right hand rooted here. We'll add a gentle and spacious twist. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly release. Frame your front foot and find your form again. Left knee to the left armpit. Lengthening. Here I like to use blocks. So you get 2 blocks. You can bring them right below your hands, probably on the lower side. It's fine. And we're going to do the same. Sending the left hip back. So I push for my left foot and I'm going to send the hip back. So I've got the wide version of the pyramid and then forward. And we do this a few times like we did on the other side. You can lift the front foot or keep it grounded. Focus more on your heads here. If you find yourself moving the hips around to find more momentum, then reconsider your form here. Less is more. Form is better than amplitude. Nice. Next time you come forward, move the blocks slightly, pulling your hands towards the center, so to the right. And this time we're going to move into Skandasana. So flexing one knee, extending the other leg, and moving back and forth here. Round. Once you get comfortable, you can lift your hand, open your heart space. Same upward moving motion here. Okay, next time you extend your left leg, we're working with the left leg first here. We're going to drop the left sit bone onto the mat. And then if your knee allows, we're going to drop the right knee forward. So like right leg is done, we're in a half euro pose. That's too much pressure on your right knee. You can do the same in Anjaneyasana, this shape. Nice. Or if you need a little lift, you take a block and you slide the block below the left sit bone here. Nice. So I love this little shape here. Not an easy one, but a great one to find. Mula Bandha, pelvic floor engagement. So I'm sitting here, the inside of my heel. I'm going to zip it up, navel to the spine. Zip your coat. Take that left foot. Pull the left hand into the hip socket. Some of you, you'll stay here, stable and grounded. Other, maybe you can find a little hinge into the heads. Maybe grab the front foot. 3 breaths. So keep squeezing your inner thigh. Knees towards each other, lifting the pelvic floor. And take a moment to appreciate how grounded you can be into your legs, to find that forward movement, that forward flexion here with a little more ease. One more breath together. Nice. Now we're ready for our lick. So we've been squeezing and lifting up in different versions of this warm-up sequence, and we're going to make it into bouncing forward. So press into your right knee here. Come high, adjust a little bit your step. We want to find that same spread as we had for the runner stretch or the Hanumanasana earlier when we were going back and forth. And we can do it a few times here down to find the spread of the legs. Nice. Okay, moving forward with our shape. Well, I'm going to demonstrate different expression of the shape. And I will ask you to consider to only do maybe 80% of what you think your Hanumanasana can pick. So the first version of it will be a half Hanumanasana. We've done this a few times here into this sequence. We're just going to bring some support below it. So it can be a block on the higher edge or 2 blocks that you can stack this way if you have a lot of blocks. I'm going to go for the higher variation here. So sitting a little lower in the block, but still using the connection to the earth with my knee. So I'm high. And I'm going to use those blocks here to help me find my fall. So if you're comfortable there, we stay there. If you feel like you are a little more opening into your hips and you can slide your left foot forward, we can do so. Be mindful if you're one of those people who can go all the way down. If I do that, I will feel my energy crashing down through my left hip, crashing down into the floor. And this is the opposite of what we're trying to do here. So do 80% of what you think you can do. And use your blocks to the side on your fingertips and lift yourself up a little bit. Because I want you to bring your awareness to your hips and to bring them to level. So we want to pull that left femur into the hip socket and we want to rotate the right hip forward and reposition carefully the head. Nice. Once your hips are leveled to the extent of their abilities, we're going to zip it. So instead of collapsing down into that hip, lift yourself up. Visualize that zipper on your winter coat. You zip, bring the two parts of the zipper together at the pubic bone, zip it up, navel to the spine. Lift for Mula Bandha. Lift up all the way to the crown of the head. Maybe the arms can follow. Maybe the gaze can follow. Now you're flying. And not only you're stretching your legs from one shore to the other, you're also lifting and rising. That's your potential. That's your mission, your dharma. You're flying off with lightness while expanding from the back to front, to the past, to the future. Nice. Release. Use your extra blocks here, super handy, to lift yourself up. Slide that left leg back. Keep your blocks nearby. Let's cleanse the hand. Step back into a plank. Bend the knees. Downward facing dog. Paddle the legs. Move the hips around. Nice. Once you're ready, come onto your toes. Look forward. Let's take a giant step to the front of the mat and forward. Inhale, rise as tall as possible. Gaze up, hands to the side. As tall as a mountain, and we'll do the other side. Inhale, rise. Gaze at the thumbs. Exhale, hinge from the hips and forward. This time that's the left leg walking all the way back. And we keep that knee lifted off the ground. Right knee into the right armpit. Expanding from the back here all the way to the crown of the head. By spreading the heart space, spreading the collarbone. Left hand grounded, right arm up. 3 breaths. A nice spacious twist here without collapsing on the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your right hand back, right knee into your right armpit. Take your blocks, frame your foot. Give yourself some space here to extend. And from the hips, on the right hip, pushing with the right heel, extend the front leg. Can I keep that expansion in the chest while I'm moving, hinging from my hips back and forth? Finding your breath and movement coordination. One more time. Once you come forward, you can move your blocks to the side and we're going to walk the hands towards the left side. I'm going to show you my back, my bottom for a second. Come to the center and then we start bending one knee. Skandasana. So same thing as we did on the other side. And the other second round. So maybe we are a little more space here to expand. So one hip is starting to open quite a bit. The other one is going to catch up. Next time you bend your left knee, but now walking with the right leg. So look forward, frame your front leg. Flex that foot. And come to sit on your right sit bone. Same option here. Be very mindful with your knees. So if you need to adjust, please do so. The block below the seat, it's a nice adjustment here to help you lift your hips and bring your hips to level. And if you can sit nicely in both sitting bones, measure your space, hands to the side, fingertips to the side. Mula Bandha, pelvic floor engagement. This is what prevents you to fall over. Zip it up, navel to the spine. Spread the collar, crown of the head. The energy is rising. We can stay here. Maybe we hinge into that right leg. Maybe we grab the front foot. Shoulders are relaxed. Neck is relaxed. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Rise up. Use your hands, press into your left knee and come up. And we need to readjust a little bit. We're always a little bit too short, so walk that back knee to the back. Same option as before. Let's move again like we did on the other side. Back and forth a few times. Every time you go back, you're already in Hanumanasana. That's the half variation. Very valid variation. We know how hard it is to keep our hips level. So be gentle with yourself. Okay, same variation as on the other side. I can stack two blocks. So this way, or I can put one block high. And I find that support here. It's both a support and a boundary. So can extend my leg. And I'm in a high variation. And not half Hanumanasana. If I have the states, I'm going to lower down. But again, let's do 80%. So yeah, I'll stack a block here. You can have two, you can have three. If you have zero, just be mindful you're not completely collapsing into your flexibility. Use your blocks to the side or your fingertips if you don't add extra blocks. And give yourself a chance to find a form first. So lift yourself up, literally off the block, and square your head. So my right hip goes back, my left hip goes forward, and I play here with the strength of my legs, with the connection of the pinky toe side of that back foot. Once I have this, I zip it up again. Awareness to that Mula Bandha. So I want to fly across the ocean. I don't want to crash into the water midway. So I'm going to rise up, expand outward from one shoulder to the other. Also expanding upward and lifting energy through the early floor, all the way up. Taking an extra breath, inhale. Exhale, release, nice. Use your extra block. Extra blocks. Lift yourself up. Slide that foot back. Move your blocks to the side. Readjust. Yeah. And then let's find out facing dog. Ooh, I can pedal those legs. Now it feels much more open and there. Really stretching those hip flexor, the all psoas, the back of the legs. Nice. Let's walk the feet to the hands and crisscross. Come to sit. Grab a block, one last time, and lie down on your back. So we'll finish with a little bit of hip flexor release and extension. Using this block, if the block causes your lower back to be in pain, then we don't use the block. You can do the same thing as I'm here, just flat on the floor. If you want to try and block, place the block right below the sacrum. So turn the tailbone towards the front, lengthen the lower back. Yeah, nice. And ground your tailbone onto the block. Go slowly so you can test your boundaries here. Extend one leg, push with the heel towards the front of the room. And then extend the other leg. So pushing the heels to the front. Can grab opposite elbows and stay here. Keep the legs active. Yes, we're really stretching and tapping into the front body here, the hip flexor, releasing the psoas. If you want a little more release, you can bring one knee, maybe the right knee, to your chest. Keep pressing the left foot forward. So with the blocks, we have a little of a lift here, so more of a stretch, but be mindful. And then just switch side. And release. Bring your feet flat on the floor. Lift your seat to remove the block, and let's bring your knees to your chest to finish. Give yourself a nice hug. And whether you were able to do the full variation of Hanumanasana, that full split, or any variation in between, they all were flying up. We were all were lifting the belly for getting that upward extension. So now let's go straight onto the mat. Make yourself comfortable. We'll do a few breaths together here, Shavasana, and if you're home, you can stay there for a few more minutes. When you're ready, you can start to move your toes and your fingers. Stretch, expand one more time from the toes all the way up to the fingers. Release to your chest. Give yourself a last hug. And rolling to the side when you're ready to finish your practice. So nice to have you here. And congratulations on your split, your Hanumanasana. And as you see, like as much as we walk to expand and get one leg behind and the other all the way to the front, the walk is actually the left. And that walk will find in all the yoga practice really, this idea of lifting the energy. And the image of Hanuman is lifting and crossing the ocean, but at the same time fulfilling his dharma, his mission, and expanding his vision and his reach. So thank you for being here. Stay tuned. See you soon.